In order to answer that what is virtual reality, we first need to understand what reality is in fact. So, a human is a very complex design machine with sensory information, like we have sensory information getting in our mind through our hands, through our nose, through our टंग, थ्रू आर फीट। तो ये वो तमाम तरह की इंफॉर्मेशन है जो हमारा ह्यूमन बॉडी का सेंसर्स का मैकेनिज्म जो है वो हमारे ब्रेन को फीड करता है। और इसके बाद हमारे कॉन्शियस लेवल जो कि हमारे ब्रेन में और जो सब कॉन्शियस लेवल है वो मिक्स करके एक चीज़ को क्रिएट करते हैं जिसको हम रियलिटी बोलते हैं। रियलिटी बेसिकली एक परसेप्शन है ह्यूमन माइंड की अबाउट अ सर्टन फिनोमिनन, अबाउट अ सर्टन सर्कमस्टांस। This has been extended very recently in a domain like gaming, like networking, like media marketing. तो वर्चुअल रियलिटी में बेसिकली हम क्या करते हैं कि हम अपनी फिजिकल रियल डोमेन को ट्रांसफॉर्म करते हैं एक वर्चुअल डोमेन के अंदर। और वो हम कैसे करते हैं कि हमें उसमें सबसे पहले अपनी रियल वर्ल्ड डोमेन को क्लोज करना पड़ता है, उसको बिल्कुल बंद करना पड़ता है। बंद से क्या मुराद है, आपने अक्सर देखा होगा कि आपको वीआर हेडफोन्स यूज़ करने पड़ते हैं जब भी आप वर्चुअल रियलिटी, आइदर इट इज़ गेमिंग, आइदर इट इज़ एनी अदर प्लेटफॉर्म, हम अपने आप को रियलिटी से बिल्कुल हटा लेते हैं और उसके बाद हम वर्चुअल रियलिटी के अंदर जो चीज़ें हैं थ्रू आर सेंसेशन, थ्रू आर सब कॉन्शियसनेस, उसके अंदर डिफरेंट प्लेन्स को क्रिएट करते हैं। उन प्लेन्स को क्रिएट करने के बाद वी ट्राई टू इंटरैक्ट विद दैट रियलिटी विच इज़ इन फैक्ट नॉट द रियलिटी, दैट्स वाई इट्स कॉल्ड वर्चुअल रियलिटी। और इस वर्चुअल रियलिटी के अंदर फिर हम चीज़ों के साथ अपनी इंटरेक्शन को पॉसिबल बनाते हैं। और आपने अगर डिफरेंट गेमिंग्स देखी हों, जैसे माइनक्राफ्ट एक गेम है, तो उसके अंदर आप ये देखेंगे कि आप अपनी गैजेट्स को यूज़ करते हुए you become the part of that reality, and that gives you a sort of a freedom to interact with that reality, which is in fact not real, and that is called the virtual reality. Now let's talk about what is augmented reality. As the name itself suggests, augment means किसी चीज का किसी में इजाफा करना। तो ऑगमेंटेड रियलिटी में हम अनलाइक वर्चुअल रियलिटी किसी भी वर्चुअल डोमेन में नहीं जाते, हम अपने रियल लाइफ के जो एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं इनको बेहतर करते हैं थ्रू अदर सॉर्ट ऑफ बाय एडिंग डिफरेंट लेयर्स इनटू इट। यानी कि आप अपनी रियलिटी के अंदर रहते हुए उस रियलिटी के अंदर डिफरेंट लेयर्स को थ्रू टेक्नोलॉजी ऐड करते हैं ताकि हम अपनी रियलिटी को ऑगमेंट कर सकें, एंड दैट इज बेसिकली ऑगमेंटेड रियलिटी। ये ऑगमेंटेड रियलिटी हमें हमारी रियल टाइम बहुत सारी एप्लीकेशंस में इट हैज़ अ लॉट ऑफ मैनिफेस्टेशंस। फॉर इंस्टेंस, आपकी रियल टाइम के ऊपर जो ट्रेडिंग हो रही है, जो आपका गेमिंग एक्सपीरियंस है, जो आपके डिफरेंट चैट बॉट्स इस्तेमाल हो रहे हैं, इसी तरह से आप जो डिफरेंट कंज्यूमर्स का एक्सपीरियंस है अबाउट द डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट्स अवेलेबल इन द मार्केट, इसके अंदर वी विल बी यूजिंग डिफरेंट फिल्टर्स, डिफरेंट लेयर्स to augment the or to improve the impact of our reality, and that concept is called augmented reality. So now speaking about the metaverse is in fact the combination of all the realities. Metaverse in fact is, if you people have gone through a movie called Avatar, you have seen that a person is there and then you have a virtual clone of that person operating in the movie. This gives you an idea of what multiverse is. Multiverse is in fact the technology of the future, and different companies including Facebook, including IBM, and the Google, they are working on this specific platform. What they are trying to do is that a person, when is playing a game, a clone of that person, a virtual clone of that person, like I am the person and I want to play a game. Unlike virtual reality, I am not interacting virtually. My virtual clone, having the same size, having the same height, having the same features, is there in the game, that is taking decision on its own just like me, and interacting with the game. And this for this to realize, you have sometimes to merge the virtual reality aspects and the augmented reality as well to create that effect. So the idea of the multiverse is that in the virtual domain, you have a clone of the real world operating in that specific domain to achieve that specific impact. This is a very fancy term, blockchain, and most of the people, they want to know about what blockchain is. Blockchain is in fact a distributed digital ledger, and I want to just explain in a very brief terminology, that whenever we talk about the blockchain, two things they come in our mind. One is what is block, another is what is chain. So as the name suggests, it is the chain of different blocks. But what is that specific in that certain block? हमें देखना पड़ेगा कि एक ब्लॉक के अंदर ऐसा क्या है जो आम ब्लॉक से बहुत डिफरेंट है, और वो ब्लॉक बेसिकली ऐसा क्या कर सकता है कि उसको आजकल क्रिप्टो डोमेन के अंदर और आपकी साइबर डोमेन के अंदर इतनी ज्यादा सिग्निफिकेंस हासिल है। उस ब्लॉक के अंदर बेसिकली तीन चीजें होती हैं। एवरी ब्लॉक ऑफ द ब्लॉक चेन कैरीज थ्री इंफॉर्मेशन पीसेस। वन इज द डेटा इंफॉर्मेशन, द अदर इज द नाउंस, एंड द थर्ड इज द हैश फंक्शन ऑफ दैट ब्लॉक। अब आपके पास एक ब्लॉक में डेटा है, एक ब्लॉक का हैश है, और वो हैश 32 बिट नंबर है जो कि एक नाउंस से जनरेट हुआ है। तो यू हैव टू कीप दिस थिंग इन माइंड दैट यू हैव इन दैट स्पेसिफिक ब्लॉक the information. I'm not giving you idea right here that what sort of information that it is carrying, but it is carrying a sort of information that is of value. अब उस एक ब्लॉक के अंदर आपके पास इंफॉर्मेशन आ गई है, उस एक ब्लॉक के अंदर आपने जो इंफॉर्मेशन रखी है वो दूसरे ब्लॉक के साथ कनेक्टेड है, और यही ब्लॉक चेन की ब्यूटी है। अब इफ सम इंट्रूडर या कोई शख्स उसको हैक करने की कोशिश करना चाहे, तो जैसे ही वो एक ब्लॉक को छेड़ेगा, तो उस ब्लॉक का नाउंस फंक्शन और उस ब्लॉक का हैश फंक्शन टोटली चेंज हो जाएगा, और वो तमाम यूजर्स को ये चीज बता देगा कि इस ब्लॉक चेन के अंदर समथिंग हैज हैपेंड, समवन हैज ट्राइड टू चेंज द इंफॉर्मेशन। सो इफ समवन हैज ट्राइड टू चेंज द इंफॉर्मेशन, द वैलिडिटी ऑफ द ब्लॉक चेन would become invalid. The second important thing regarding the blockchain is that every block in that blockchain represents a user. So whatever you enter in the blockchain would be disseminated, rather transferred to all the users, and they agree to that specific information. That is in technical terms called consensus. Now briefly, I'm just going through in 5-10 seconds that what are the advantages that blockchain would provide. First of all, a distributed information. Second thing, a digital signature that validates each and every bit of information. Third thing is that all the users, they have access to the information. And the fourth important feature is the security. Blockchain is an extremely secure process and is nowadays very deeply employed in digital technology domain. Okay, and now extending the concept of the blockchain further, you may have heard about a term NFT, that is called non-fungible tokens. So first of all, we have to understand what is non-fungible token. In the crypto domain, in the cryptocurrency, you have seen that you may heard about the Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Polkadot. There are different currencies. Fungible tokens are those tokens that you can exchange one with the other token. For instance, I have $100 and I ask you that give me a denominations of $50. You will give me two notes. So I'll give you $100 note and you will give me in return two $50 notes. So in that concept, this is called a fungible currency. But in non-fungible, for example, I plan to sell out my favorite bat, and I have a collection of 15 bats. So what the non-fungible technology in that context will do, it operates on the upper layer of Ethereum. What it will do, it will add a digital signature to that bat, like a watermark. So the seller and the end user would know that who is selling that bat, what is the worth of that bat, and in return he will pay for that bat. So this non-fungible tokens, they have secured the digital transactions, but in return, sometimes in terms of money, you won't get money in return. You may get an item, or you may get something very different from what you are selling. But the non-fungibility allows you to operate different diverse digital transactions in a very efficient manner. Now, with the technology expanding at a very exponential pace, people are day by day, very much into evolving those things that can make humans' task handy. So bots are there in the industry for a long time, and then came humanoid bots. Tesla has recently, in its recent, I have Elon Musk's interview I have seen, which probably he has given on Artificial Intelligence Day. He said about that Tesla is planning to launch a Tesla bot, which would be a humanoid bot, which seems like a human, all fingers, 5 fingers, 2 feet, and the same structure as the human body. What this bot would do, this is very important. Tesla has recently, in the automobile industry, it has brought in a lot of changes, and one of the major change is the real-time decision making and the automated updation of the car, self-driving cars concept Tesla has given. The cars are taking decisions on its own, and the cars are operating on autonomous mode. And from that, the other aspect which most of the people are not familiar with, that Tesla is continuously getting users data, that how the driver of that cars, how the cars on real terms, in terms of real term scenarios, how they make different decision processes. And through the training of that data, using the deep neural networks and the artificial neural networks, they are training a huge base of human sentiment analysis data, and through those human sentiment analysis data, they are in fact training and testing their robots, and which they claim in future would be doing humanly tasks, which humans often feel that these are redundant tasks and humans are reluctant to do that, or they feel bored about it. So Tesla bot in that sense would be something that would amaze us in times to come.